In this video, I'll be going into my dividend portfolio's activity for the month of June. So we'll be looking at all the buys and sells I made and the dividends I received, and looking at some other statistics about how the portfolio performed this month, as well as some comparisons versus the overall market. And then I'll talk a little bit about my thoughts on the portfolio moving forward and kind of what my goals are and what I'm trying to improve as well. So first of all, here's the portfolio spreadsheet before we make any updates for the month of June. So these are all the positions, and we did get one dividend increase this month, which was from Caterpillar, and that was about 8.3%, which is super exciting. So the new dividend is $5.20 annually, which is $1.30 per quarter, I believe. So we'll go ahead and update that there, and then our annual income is projected at $136.81 with the portfolio value around just under $6,000 and the dividend yield just under 3% at 2.9%. Now in Fidelity here, this is all the activity for the portfolio filtered out from the 1st to the 30th of June. So I'm just going to download that data as a CSV file, and then I can go into my spreadsheet and import that CSV file, and then I have some scripts that I'll run that is going to parse all that data and put it into the spreadsheet. All right, so we got the activity imported into the spreadsheet, and I'll just go here and parse the transactions, and it's going to go through and parse all those transactions and put all that data at the proper spot in the spreadsheet. All right, so the script has finished running, and we can see we made deposits of $277.28 this month. Buys were only about $40, no sells, and then dividends totaled $18.56, which is super exciting. So we'll first look at those buys. So the only buy I made this month was AbbVie of about $40 at the beginning of the month, around $132 per share. And AbbVie's actually getting close to that mark again. So I've definitely been keeping an eye on it, and may start buying it again at the beginning of July here. We'll see. But that's definitely one I'm keeping an eye on. And then I got some credit card reward points, about $27 back into my account, and then the normal $250 cash deposit. So definitely sitting on a lot of cash, which we'll see in a little bit, but I just don't see a ton of great opportunities at this point. I'm certainly trying to look, and I need to spend more time looking, but that's kind of where I'm at with, actually investing the capital. But looking at dividends received, the first one here was from Aflac for about 72 cents, Johnson & Johnson, $3.49, Southern Company, $2.30, Microsoft, 87 cents, Pfizer, 95 cents, 3M, $2.30, Amcor, 58 cents, Lockheed Martin, 99 cents, Travelers, 63 cents, and then we got $5.73 of interest from our cash, which is super exciting, and really a result of me having a lot of cash sitting around the whole month, which we'll take a look at exactly how much cash I have. So like we saw, the total dividends was, what was it? It was $18.56, which is definitely our highest yet, and it's way above what we got in March, which was only $11, and way above almost over three times what we got last June, which was $6. So super happy with that progress. We can see this chart here of dividends by month, which is just up and to the right, steady as she goes. And then for the quarterly dividends, $41.14 for the second quarter of 2023, which is super exciting, I think. And we can actually see the grand total here. This is basically since I started the portfolio at the beginning of 2020. We've received over $200 in dividends, which is pretty cool. Obviously, the first few months we didn't really receive much. We didn't even receive over $10 in a quarter until the fourth quarter of 2021. But now we're getting, $20, $30, $40 a quarter, and it's starting to build as I invest and add capital to the portfolio more heavily, I guess. And on the year right now, we're at $69.63, only halfway through the year, which is pretty exciting. And we can go back here and look at some of the other tabs, which are interesting. We can take a look at which companies performed the best this month. So filtering out from June 1st to June 30th, and then filter by performance. We can see the worst performer this month was Pfizer and Leggett and Platt down about 2 and 3.5% respectively. And then we had some really awesome performers. And then aside from that, all the other stocks were up this month. And then Carrier Global up almost 20% this month, and Caterpillar up almost 18%. Air Products and Chemicals up almost 10%. A few companies here up, 6-7%. So pretty good performance from a lot of the companies this month. Definitely going up a little bit rather than down for sure. And then if we take a look at this tab, this is not going to be super interesting since I didn't invest all that much, but we can take a look regardless. So this is basically going to show us the amount invested and the dividends received. So again, that's not really too exciting just because, we looked at all the dividends individually and we only bought AbbVie and deposited our cash. But let's look at the summary tab here. And we can see our annual income moved up just a bit to $138.59. So obviously not much of a change there, but a little bit. And the portfolio value around $6,258 now, with a dividend yield of 2.9%. And the average 5-year dividend CAGR is around 7.2%. So like I said, I'm definitely trying to focus a little bit on bringing that up and being more strategic with what companies I'm buying. So something like AbbVie, when it gets to a attractive price, kind of where it is right now, which I think is decently attractive, I'm going to be wanting to buy because that is a company that is been increasing their dividends and I think is going to increase their dividends at a higher rate than some of the other companies I own. And looking as well at these pie charts here, equity by sector, almost 25% cash, about 24% cash right now. You can see it's just over $1,500 of cash. So I'm definitely trying to get that deployed. But like I said, just don't see a ton of great deals. And I think my strategy is going to be shifting a little bit less towards looking for great deals and just buying, high quality companies because I do want to get the capital deployed, at some point. I don't want to sit on it forever. So I'm going to start looking more towards high quality companies that look to be around the fair value, even if they're not at, a price below the fair value or where it seems like a great deal. Something like AbbVie, I think it's, a decent deal right now. So I think I want to start, putting more towards that. Stocks like AbbVie, we can see if we look here, find it. So AbbVie is right here, and over the last 5 years, its average dividend CAGR is around 12.3%. So that's, fantastic. Something else that I want to add to is something like Texas Instruments, which I don't think it'll be able to increase its dividends quite as much as it has in the past few years. But again, I don't think it's too far above the fair value right now. I definitely would like it to come down more, I think, before I add, but something like that I would want to add to more as well. So the final sheet we can take a look at here is the value over time. So this just shows the value of the portfolio over time. Obviously, we had a big spike here when we deposited $1,000 last month, but just cool to see that steady upward trend. Same with the dividend income. Dividend yield, not much to see. Payout ratio, not much to see. And for the 5-year CAGR, that data for Apple is still messed up. The 7.2% is correct. I put the correct number in before I made the video, but my scripts that automatically get that data source is not correct for Apple specifically. So it kind of messes it up and that graph looks kind of wonky, but hopefully at some point they will fix that and it'll be back to normal, I think. So we are back in Fidelity here, and this is just going to show us some actual data on the returns of the portfolio. So this right here is my portfolio. I just have the account number blurred out, but for the 1 month time frame, it's up about 4.6% compared to the market, which is up about 6.5 or 7%. And then year to date, we're up 5% compared to the market, which is up, 16, 17%. So that's where I'm really lagging the market is year to date over the past 6 months or so. We can see over the past year, the portfolio is up 16% compared to the market's 19 or 20%. So we're a lot closer when we look out a year. But just the last few months definitely been underperforming, which is okay. But we just would hope at least that doesn't continue on for a super long period of time. But overall, I'm not really upset with how the portfolio has been performing at all over the last 6 months. I'm really excited because I've been able to add a lot more capital and hopefully we'll be able to deploy a lot more capital as well to grow the portfolio more quickly. So like I said before, one of my main focuses at this point is just getting some more of the capital deployed and not being quite as picky with the valuations, but definitely being a little bit picky with the specific companies based on their history of dividend increases and how much I think they will be able to increase it in the future. Definitely want to bias my purchases more towards companies that I think are going to be able to raise their dividends at a higher rate, ideally between the 7 to 10% range over the next few years, and hopefully over a longer period of time as well. So that's kind of the strategy for the portfolio moving forward and what I'm focusing specifically on. I would love to hear how your guys' portfolios performed in the month of June and how much you received in dividends. If you haven't subscribed to the channel already, make sure you do that so you don't miss out on future updates on my portfolio. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you all in the next one.